That's just heading into the forest now. Gonna go on a bit of a hike first with the crew, and then we're gonna set up camp somewhere and attempt to make some fireweed jam or jelly if you're North American. So we'll see how that goes. One more drink. Hey. Let's go. Come. That's as deep into the woods now, so just sort of going to look around for a little camp area, and then we'll get cracking with today's objective. Big buzzard just flew away there. We'll talk about that later. That's us arrived at a little spot here that I'm going to set up a sort of quasi camp and get on with this fireweed recipe. That was actually a harder hike than anticipated, so I think first thing I'll do is get this pack off, get my jacket off and get some water, and then normal work commences, which is getting the dogs set up, getting their lines on, getting them some water, and then I don't think it's going to rain today. There's very small chance, so I have got a tarp with me, but I'll probably not put it up unless I really need to. So yeah, get that done, go and collect more fireweed and get the fire on the go. So let's get to it. So I've got a bit of fireweed collected. I'm not going to light that until I go over there and get some more fireweed. And then we'll come back, get the fire lit. Don't really need a big fire for this, just enough to provide a high heat for about 20 minutes or thereabouts. And I'll obviously get a brew on for myself We got some treats for the doggos. Alright, coach. Right, back in a minute. Just stumbled across a little raspberry plant here. Yeah. There's not a bad one. Most of them are sort of rotted away now. A couple of tasty looking ones in the middle there, but yeah, I'll just leave them for now. Right, I'm not going to take this one, but I'm just going to show you this plant close up. Okay, obviously the blossoms there. And it's said in Native American tradition, once the blossoms are reaching the top of the spike, that summer has ended. Excuse me, bit of raspberry in my mouth there. So if you look on down the plant, you see these little long pods, and that contains the seed. So when this plant starts to die, it'll go into seed, and you can recognise it everywhere. It's like big white clusters of wool. Again, later on in the year, this will die right back, and you'll be able to use it for fire lighting. Right, so that should be enough for what I want to do today. And it's always important not to over harvest plant out in nature, and just take what you need. So this will be enough for a couple of little pots of jams, fingers crossed. So we'll make our way back to the dogs and get started. Trust me not to bring the stick. Can you see them beauties hiding in the undergrowth? Alright guys, what are you eating, Rika? What have you got in your bake? Oh look, tied up again. Right, here we go. Let's do it. All I'm doing here first of all is picking the flowers off, putting them in a pot. Because once I've done that, then I'm going to light the fire, because the flies are really starting to annoy me now. I mean, ideally you want to just pick the flowers straight off the plant and not take this part, but that's just the way it is sometimes. So there's my flowers in there. I'm also going to make a tea, not today, because you need to collect the leaves and ferment them for a couple of days first. So that's why I brought the plants over with me. So what you're looking to do is go below where the seed pods start and then just strip them off. Okay. And then put in that bag for later. So that's enough for me, and hopefully in a couple of days I'll make some tea, but for now let's get back on with the jelly. So just while that fire's on the go, I'm going to add some water into the pot here. That should be more than enough for today. Get that on for now, and then I brought this little tripod with me just to make life a bit easier for myself. So yeah, let's get the pot on. Jobs are good. Okay. Let's get the dogs a wee snack. Want a snack, doggos? Yeah? Want a snack, mate? Okay. Just while that's boiling away there, I'm gonna get some hot water on for a brew. I started snacking, and I'm snacking. Alright. So, that's what we're looking for there. The flowers have went like a grey colour. So now we need to strain these, or strain the liquid, into our pot, ready for the next stage. So there we have some nice looking liquid in there. Yep. Going to add some cane sugar and then put that back in the heat. That's the thing about jellies, take a lot of sugar. Right, so just add more fuel to the fire there just to get another flame going. Get this sugar boiling. While we're doing that, another part of the recipe is some lemon juice. Ooh, I think we'll wait a minute before we put that in. Okay, so that's boiling away nicely. So I'm just going to take it off the heat, give it a stir. But before I do that, the most crucial part of the jam recipe is packing. Now you can buy stuff in the shop, or you could even use gelatin, I suppose. But I'm trying to keep this sort of as natural as possible. So I'm going to use some apples, which have natural pectin in them, and also add a wee bit of flavour to the jelly. Okay, that should be enough. So I'm just going to pop a lid on and just let that stew away for a bit. Steady. Just in time for coffee. Oh, smoky. Yeah, so just going to enjoy a brew, just while that's simmering away there, so hopefully it'll be good to go in about 10 minutes or so. But I'm just going to let it do its thing, let the fire burn out, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. Like I was saying earlier on, I chose this part of the forest today because this is where the buzzards live. Well, this is where they certainly fly to anytime I see them in the forest. And we were actually walking along earlier, and one did fly, sort of from the treetops out of here. So I reckon if I looked hard enough, I'd probably find their nest. But we'll save that for another day. It is starting to drizzle a bit, but yeah, I'm not even bothered throwing a tarp up. So we'll not probably be here for about an hour or so. If we get wet, we get wet. I don't really care. Alright, guys. Yeah, that's coming on nicely. Not be long before that's burnt away. Alright, coach. Had to give Nyla a bit of a brush there. Alright, Nyla. You casting again? Nightmare. So yeah, lovely little spot. This is right on the edge of the forest. Up that way is farmland. And then just for miles that way is forest. It's great. So if you're interested in getting to know plants, I don't know where to start. I would suggest a little book like this. This is by Collins James, just a little pocket book on wildflowers. Great for ID purposes. However, smoke always gets in your eyes. Always. Great for ID purposes, and the rosebay wilherb is in it. However, these little books don't tell you what the plants can be used for, whether they're edible or medicinal or whatever. So to find that out, if you're interested, you need to do further study. And there's a plethora of books out there on wild plants and how to use them, how to utilise them. So I'll probably take a few pictures later on of some of the books I use, and I'll put them in the Instagram stories. So rose bay willow herb, or for all you Latin heads out there, excuse my pronunciation, Shamanurium augustifolium. That's probably not correct, but ah well. Yeah, so that there are rose bay willow herb, fireweed. I've even heard it called bongweed, and although you can use it later on in the year to make fire, it didn't get its name fireweed because of that. It's called fireweed all around the world, well, in the northern hemisphere anyway, because that's where it grows, because it's normally the first plant to come back after a forest fire or if ground's disturbed. So I think earlier on there was a bit of a video clip, big open area that was covered in fireweed. That used to be forest, and it was felled about 3 years ago. So there's not much growing in there apart from grass and fireweed. So yeah, have a look out for it. It's a really great plant. Springtime, and the shoots are about that height. You can use them, saute them up, a bit of butter, just like asparagus. You've probably heard famous bushcraft names talking about taking the pith to add the broths or whatnot, or to eat it raw. It tastes a bit like melon, and it does. It's not too bad. And then, like I've done today, strip the leaves, which I'm going to make a tea out of, and obviously the jam in that pot. So yeah, very useful plant indeed. And I think about 2 years ago I possibly made a video where I lit a fire from scratch, using just fireweed and a furrow rod striker. So yeah, one worth putting in your notebook. So here's a moment of truth. So we'll set that to the side, and hopefully that'll start to set into a jelly. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's basically it back to the way it was. Do you approve, Rika? Yeah, you approve of it? So in theory, that is fireweed jam, and just looking at it, I think I know already that it's not going to work, and that's probably down to not enough sugar, and I did put quite a bit of sugar in, and maybe the pectin in the apples wasn't good enough, but we'll see. I'm going to wrap it up, take it home, and just let it sit, properly cool down, and we'll see how we get on. I actually forgot, should have done a little test, and while it was boiling, basically you take a spoonful out and see if it sort of coagulates, and this didn't, or hasn't, and I forgot to do that. So alright, lesson learned, but it was good to give it a wee go. But we'll get it home and we'll see what it tastes like anyway. Maybe good for something else, who knows. Okay, good to go. Corda, this way, this way. Hot, hot, hot. Keen to get going. Hot, hot. Get back in line, you. So earlier on in the video, there, right along down there, and all on this side, this was all felled about 2-3 years ago, and as you can see, it's just now covered in fireweed. So yeah, plenty to choose from.